From the roots where the earth still speaks, to the fire where they always breathe. Hands of wisdom time can't erase. Every drop got a story to say. Slow it down, feel the rhythm inside. This ain't rush, this is sacred design. From the soil to the soul to the light, what you hold is a gift of life. You are, feel it in your soul. Give it, let the story unfold. Ancestral power in every drop. This that legacy, this don't stop. You are rooted deep in you. Give it, yes, pure and true. Not something you drink, you receive. This that energy you believe. Hey, hey. Ooh, Luwadi. Hey. Oh, Luwadi. Give it. This is where your elders hit and drums sing perfectly.
As a woman of a certain age, there comes a time when our bodies begin to speak, to shift, to change, but not about something that's ending, but about becoming more aware, more attuned, more seasoned, and more aligned with our truth. Women are opening these pages and remembering themselves. This is more than a book. This is a return, a remembrance, a chrysalis opening. Living like a menopause goddess. And this is only the beginning.
Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. How you feeling today? This is your brother, King Simon, in the building. Don't mind my voice. I had a hectic weekend, of course, at the International African Arts Festival. I'm waiting for the video because I hosted a couple of times throughout each day. And it was at the new location. We had it at the place called the Lincoln Terrace Park. Great crowd, great audience. It rained each day. They did a nice little cleansing of rain, but we made it through. And myself and Ankh Rising Sun was together selling the Yes I Am affirmation shirts. And if you want to order yours now, shipping and handling is included in this price. So you can get small, medium, large, extra large, and I believe we have triple X also. I don't think we have any double X, but we might have some double X in various colors. So if you want to get part of that, we was over there enjoying the moment. Remember, today we have a special guest coming up in the next few minutes, Neena Dunham. Why we choose certain individuals according to the cards. And of course, I have matter of fact, I have one shelf with all of her books. Why we choose who we choose. This is one of her books right here, Recognizing the Patterns That Shape Our Relationship. Very interesting book thus far. And she's coming up in a few minutes. She's not new to my channel. She is true to my channel. And after that, we have tomorrow, we'll be doing the recap of the International African Arts Festival. So if you can make it out for that, what happened on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and also the new location that we're at. We moved from Commodore Barry Park to Lincoln Terrace Park. Remember, this event used to be at the Boys and Girls High, and before that, it was at Claver's place before that. But we're going to recap 55 years and the new location, and I will have some of the organizers on with me. I will have some vendors on with me. I would have some performers on with me. And of course, yours sincerely, the MC, will be on today. All right. So, and coming up on this coming weekend, let me make sure I have it on going on. Okay, this coming week coming up, we have a beautiful sister that was with Aquarius Maximus, who happens to be the mothership of this beautiful lady. We have our dear sister coming in. Her name is Rashana. Rashana Bennett will be with us for the first time, making her debut on my channel. Can finance bring wellness and healing into our lives. Oh, yes. She's an entrepreneur, financial counselor, coach, and compassionate soul healer. She'll be on with us on that particular day. And then after that, we have the one, the only Supernova Slam will be on with us on Wednesday. Then his mothership will be coming in on the 19th. Oh, yeah, on the 19th, she'll be with us live and direct. On the 26th, on the 22nd, we have Noble and Pooh will be with us live and direct. The healing and guiding aspects of language. On the 26th, we have another sister named Nina, but she's Sensei Nina in the martial arts world. I haven't designed that flyer because I'm waiting for pictures. And I'm waiting for Tanasia and her husband James to send me a picture because I have them coming on. And all of us will be a part of the Queen of Four event coming up called the Ascension in Brooklyn, the Ascension Ceremony Expo and Retreat coming in Brooklyn. So enough respect to everybody that's going to be there and have a good time. And my next lesson will be a new motivational, spiritual, and physical perspective of accountability and accountable. So I'll be breaking down the mathematics, the numerical value of accountability and accountable. So look out for that. So this next person that I'm about to bring on is not new to my channel, but she is true to what she does. Not only did she pass it on to her beautiful child, Aquarius Maximus, but all of her children actually have some depth of information that she shared over the years with them. So, without any further ado, I'd like to welcome back on the platform the one, the only Neena Dunham from Levin University. And of course, she specializes in all metaphysical sciences, providing students with live and pre recorded online classes in cardology, numerology, and astrology from the best instructor herself. She is the founding principal and master cardologist from the School of Metaphysics. We're going to welcome, with a well deserved round of applause, Neena Dunham in the building. Here we go. Where's my applause button? There we go. Neena.
Hey,
Hey, lady. How you doing?
I don't know. I don't see myself.
Not yet. Not till I pull
Oh,
that band open.
I thought I wasn't on. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. How
Okay,
you doing?
cool.
How's everything?
I
There you
am
go.
doing. Okay, I'm doing. This, I tell you, boy, this new year, this retrograde, I have never felt this energy in my entire life.
Mm.
Oh my goodness gracious. It has been so interesting, I would say.
To say the least, of course, to say the least. Well, you said about retrograde, and how long will this retrograde be going on?
I don't know because I don't follow Mercury retrograde. You know, it's not as bad as the outer planets, but I try to stay away from Mercury retrograde. I just know somebody told me it was Mercury retrograde.
Yes, because I really haven't connected with it at all. I just know to stay focused and stay communicated and stay on top of my
Yeah,
game.
no.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
just that it's retrograde in Cancer season,
Uh,
and that's just
it
yeah,
is
it's
what it,
intense.
it is what it is, right? Hey, look, I got
Hmm.
chances in my Jupiter, so I'm good. So I'll have fun regardless of what. But I guess and I guess what this particular topic today, based off of what I've been reading in your book here,
Hmm.
I found it very interesting. And family, today's topic, like I said on the flyer, why we choose certain individuals according to the cards. Her book is Why We Choose Who We Choose, recognizing the patterns that shape our relationships. And I've recognized patterns that pull towards me in various relationships according to the numbers. That's what I've noticed. And I've, sometimes we have to be very protective of our energy with certain people and certain energy so we don't keep on pulling it back towards us, the same old craziness, you know? And you might be sane and the person that you might be pulling towards you might be insane. and it could be vice versa.
Vice versa, right? You
So you
just in
gotta,
denial, but it
yeah,
could be
yeah,
vice versa.
it could be vice versa. So I just want people to know now why. Now you have numerous books. Of course, you have like 32 plus books now, right?
Yeah, somewhere along there. I really have stopped counting, but I know it's at least 30.
Yeah, definitely. So in regards to that, why we choose certain individuals in our life, what do we need to understand about why you wrote a book like this and why this is important? Because this is about 260 271 pages actually of information in regards to that. I haven't gotten through all of it, but I've been going through it. But why is it so important for us to understand these choices that we make in life?
Well, in the collective, we are often finding ourselves in situations that they repeat ourselves, and we know that in the numbers. We
Yes.
know that in just in metaphysics itself, that things repeat itself. So
Yes.
that you keep repeating this lesson until you get it. But a lot of times we don't realize that we're it's that mirror that we're looking in, and we're not looking into ourselves. We spend more time looking at the people and trying to figure out the people instead of doing that internal work, because that's the lesson. Because in cardiology, it may show up in your Mercury period, right?
Mhm.
Your next year, it could show up in your Saturn period. So it's the same lesson, but it's just being expressed differently. So as we, progress in life, and we can go back, especially to our younger childhood, our Mercury period, because Mercury, sometimes we talk about, looking at Mercury in communications, and we're trying to figure out what happened, but Mercury is really in the pattern is saying what is not what happened. It is saying what is the story we tell ourselves about what happened, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
we can go through life, constantly telling ourselves stories instead of understanding the story. It's like, what happened. It's like, think of a child in a classroom and they raise their hand and the teacher doesn't choose them. So the child may say, well, maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe the teacher doesn't like me. And that could be something that you take through life. You get a job and then you're like, they don't pick me for, certain positions.
Yes.
So the pattern is there and it keeps showing up at different stages. And, as a social worker, it's what in our community, especially, it's things that I saw that it was different, but it was the same.
Mm.
We have the same things that show up time and time again in relationships, in community, and stuff like that. And I just thought it's a good place to start having that conversation, that these are patterns. These are
Right.
things that you can see over time, and then you can transcend it. And you can, once because there's a lot of things that happened in my life I didn't know until it was over. I was like, wow. You know what I mean? While you in it, you may not necessarily recognize it. But once you're on the other side of it, then you get a chance to see, okay, that was a pattern. That was something that, I was doing over and over again.
And in your book, you have a stage or a chapter called emotional bond, and you say in the chapter, at some point, you stop trying to figure it out, and you start feeling it, not lightly, not casually, but deeply. What does that mean as far as when it comes to emotional bonds and why we keep on attracting those same emotional bonds?
Well, in cardiology, we look at it through Mercury. Mercury is just like it is in astrology. We're dealing with how we process things. Now, Mercury is that conversation that we're having in our head, and
Right.
we could be looping and looping and continuing with that conversation.
Mhm.
And for us to get to the emotional piece, we have to feel. And a
Mm.
lot of times we don't feel. A lot of times, things have happened in life where you don't feel, you're not comfortable feeling, you're not comfortable expressing yourself. And that's when Venus steps in, because Venus says, I don't trust you. It's like you keep putting yourself in these situations and the same relationships, the same patterns. So your ability to feel is put on the side, because it's not trusting that it's safe. What we want is safety. So when we feel safe around people, then we'll be able to express ourselves. So we're looking for that safety. So that's a big part of that chapter because, in relationships, we want to feel safe, but sometimes, how it says in a book that I could be going through something and I'm interpreting in this way, but the other person is going through it a different and interpreting from a different space. So it takes time. And that's a
Mm.
lot of what we don't have now in relationships. It's like I'll just move on to the next one.
Now, but back in the day, you always had women and or men that attract the drama, have that emotional bond
Mm-hmm.
with the drama, the
Mm-hmm.
bad boys. They always like
Mm-hmm.
the bad boys until the bad boys F them up, of course. Or till or till the bad girls knife you up in your bed while you're sleeping or put a gun to your head. And matter of fact, I was at the, I was at the International Arts Festival, and I ran into not one of my ex girlfriend, but a girl that I knew whooped. She's a lesbian, and I knew she whooped her girlfriend back in the day for cheating or doing something else. And the girl that she with looked like she was a little timid this time, a little controllable. So I was like looking, I said, oh boy, this one here is something else. But I didn't say nothing to her because she a bodybuilder. So I said, you know what, I ain't gonna say nothing. I said, oh, y'all gonna say, oh, you got a new girlfriend, huh? After she almost killed that one, the last one. So I didn't want to get into that business. That's between her and whatever she's dealing with at this day and time. But these emotional bonds when it comes to attracting bad boys or bad girls, how can we, if you're changing the dynamics of your life and you're changing certain things, how can they shift into attracting people that's more rising to the next level as they are rising now, instead of still pulling those same bad boys and bad girls? They might have pulled it in the church, they might have pulled it in consciousness, they might have pulled it in the club. How can they change that vibration, that frequency? uh,
But that deals with emotional intelligence. Because
yeah.
when you get tired, that's the only when you really, really, really are tired of it
Sick and
and you
tired of
sit with
time.
yourself.
Right, right, right,
Right,
right,
but you have to take that time to sit with yourself. And
right.
that's something that we don't do. It's like you have to process that last relationship. You have to process it and move through whatever it is that happened in order to clean out what needs to be moved. It's a lot of us that don't have space. It's like we have stuff heaped on top. It's this relationship, that relationship, this job, that job. So there's really no space for you to feel. So as we go through that process, and that process can take, a long time, depending on how long it's been since you intimately sat with yourself.
Mm,
Because it's into me I see.
right, 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 right,
You if you're attracting these relationships, you are that relationship. People who feel like, that's you, because I don't attract that kind of stuff, because that's not what I came here to experience. I'm a whole Libra. I wrote a book
right,
called That Libra Shit,
right, right,
because
right.
that's what Libra is. Libra is about is about relationships. So I have that knowing and that understanding, but because I'm a Libra, I have a sense and I can feel what people are going through. But because I feel what you're going through, don't mean I'm supposed to be in a relationship with you.
Right, right.
You know, it's like,
But you in your own sense have attracted people that might gone down the drug world and all that, because you said that on my show before. What made you attract that type of energy also?
well, the healing part. I'm a
Mm,
nurturer.
okay.
I'm just a natural nurturer.
Okay.
And because of that, people feel comfortable with me. I mean, some of the craziest people, I'm from Brooklyn. I was that girl. I liked me. I had to have a rough neck. That was their song. I didn't
Right.
like no straight laced guy. I ain't gonna lie. They were boring. I'm just gonna say. So being out there in that world, you out there in that world. But that part of you that has that sense that people want to be comfortable. So it's not necessarily off the rip that I know this. Is as you get into it, then you start seeing these patterns and you start noticing these things, now where I'm very adept at noticing now. But before that, people are they can hide that. That's not something that you can just readily sense or readily know. People are very well, especially men. Men are good at, they're good at knowing what a woman desires and wants, and they hone in on that. So that other part of them is laying dormant until it's not right.
So why would you say what would you say about men that always trying to save somebody? They call it save a hole syndrome. What would you call that when you see?
I have never met one. I ain't never met no man who was trying to save nobody. I met
Oh,
plenty
oh,
of
yeah,
men
oh,
that,
oh, there's a whole bunch of them out
well,
there.
I don't know them. I don't know.
I've tried to save a few in my life. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
whoa, goodness.
And sometimes it's good for you. Sometimes they're friends for life. Sometimes they're not friends. Sometimes they
Yeah.
become, baby mamas that are trying to hold you hold you back. You know what I'm saying? So what is that? Because it does happen that there are people that try to save other people. And sometimes women think they can fix every man, or some women, not all women, some women think they could change every man, and some men think they could change every woman. Where does
Mm-hmm.
that come from when it comes to investing your time? Because time is an important factor in this whole thing. You can call it an
Yeah.
illusion if you want to, but we are operating in the element of time. We call everything illusions, but we still invest our time in relationships that we deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
how can we be more cognizant of who we invest our time
Mm-hmm.
and our
Mm-hmm.
energy with in these days and time? Go ahead.
Well, you really can't.
Okay.
Because you can't, because there's unresolved karmas out there and unresolved things that have to be resolved, and unfortunately they generally come in another person.
Mm,
There are things that you have to do, and you're going to have to get something that causes friction for you to do it.
right, right,
Has to be that friction for you to do it. And that's what relationships are. The minute you get into a relationship, we don't necessarily think about what the relationship is. Because the moment we get into a relationship, something shifts, something changes. We know, how it's described on this side of the world. That's not necessarily relationships.
right.
When we get into relationships, there's things that are going to be triggered in us that have to be healed, have to be addressed, it's a mirror.
Right.
So I don't care if you get in the best relationship. I was married for 25 years. You can be in the best relationship, but there's going to be ish that comes up. That's the bottom line. It has to be addressed. And those are things that are going to trigger you to do the things that you need to do. And unfortunately, a lot of times we don't look at it that way. A lot of times
Mhm.
we're looking at our partner, and we're looking at what they said and what they did, and we're not doing that internal work of why we feel the way that we feel. And that's a big issue with feeling. I'm a person that I'm good with my feelings. You cannot have, I'm going to talk about my feelings. But that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is good at listening or hearing or whatever. But I need to be able to have that conversation about how I feel. And
Mm,
that's something that I think it really takes a lot of guts to do that. Because especially in this day and time, in my generation, yeah, that's a big one. You know,
mm.
being able to have those conversations about how, just having those intimate conversations.
Rest in peace to the late great Mother Khadija,
Mm-hmm.
Farrakhan, wife, and they spent 72 years together. As a matter of historical fact, in the Nation of Islam, it was Mother Khadija that introduced Islam to Minister Farrakhan. And
Always,
with Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it was Mother Clara Muhammad that introduced.
always.
You understand? And Clara was born November 2nd, and Khadija was born the same day as Dr. Sabi, 11/26, November 26th. What is it in those two women, according to the cards, that would introduce their men to a organized structure like Islam at those periods of time, from your perspective?
Well, for Farrakhan and for Mother Khadija, he's an eight of diamonds and she was
Mm,
a seven of hearts.
mhm,
So that's his reward card.
That's what
But
he
in
said too.
order,
That's what he said. That was his gift. That's a gift from the Lord.
yeah, but
He
in
said,
order to get that reward, he had to go through the Ace of Spades. So that's where she came in. That was the initiation because an Ace of Spades represents death and rebirth. It
mm,
represents transformation. So that's what the process that she brought to it was.
yeah,
Yeah, I am the reward, but you gonna have to do some serious work to unlock that reward. And then it came, through Islam. So that's
right.
powerful. Every time I look at that, I'm writing about that, his combination with her combination. Because
Powerful.
behind the scenes, yeah, nobody knew behind the scenes except their close, intimate family. But behind the scenes, that was a very interesting combination with
Mm,
that Ace of Spades. It's like everything that they touched had to go through a process, right?
mm,
So being able to stay together that long is a testament because the Ace of Spades is Pluto in a sense. And the Ace of Spades is like, okay, now after you go through this transformation, now what? So their relationship was always evolving in the public eye. But the intimacies behind the scene, yeah, those were really some serious intimacies of getting to know each other because the Ace of Spades, that's the beginning of everything.
mm.
Aces are like the number one, the first thought, but the spade, the Ace of Spades, that's the one that cuts through. So yeah, out the gate, they had a clear understanding of a lot of things between them relationship
That's
wise.
funny. That's funny you would say that because when you put their personality numbers together in numerology, it adds up to 37, which is a 10, which is a one.
Yeah.
Leads right to the one, which is that creative, shining
Mm-hmm.
the light in front of everybody. There's
Mm-hmm.
a certain energy in front. They had 9 children also. So, and so many grandchildren. What about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Clara Muhammad? Because she introduced him to Islam back in the day. She was born November 2nd, and he was born October 7th, according to the history. What you looking for? What you looking for? A piece of paper?
I had my birth chart and I don't know
Oh,
what I did with it. So you said November the 2nd. Let me pull it up real quick.
that's
November
Mother
the 2nd is, I know that is a diamond for sure.
Clara Muhammad was born November 2nd, and Elijah Muhammad was born according to the history of October 7th. So and I think that's very important because both of them develop a certain structure, and there is a chapter in your book called the structure, not destruct, the THE structure, the structure
You
in your
said
book.
November the 2nd for her.
Yes, November
She's
second,
a
and he
five of diamonds. And what was his?
he was October 7th,
October 2nd.
seventh.
7th. Okay. So
Mm,
she's a five of diamonds and he is two of diamonds.
mm,
Well, and it's and what's so interesting about that, and I would see the dynamics is because the five of diamonds is the solar value to the black man. So she
mm,
had an intimate understanding about black men,
right,
right? Because the five of diamonds is the card that expresses itself. That's what black men expresses themselves, and that card is sits in Saturn Neptune.
mm-hmm,
And we
mm-hmm,
know that Saturn Neptune, you got to be spiritual beyond spirituality because your faith is going to be tested. From the day you were born, you sit in Saturn Neptune, you're going to learn through the trials and tribulations that's about your faith. And him being a two of diamonds, I did say two of diamonds, right? Yeah, two of diamonds, that's Mars Saturn. So his life also was about faith. He wanted to do things and he learned that there had to be structure to it. So putting those two together, having that kind of, and they're diamonds, so they understand it takes time to do things. But putting those two together, and those are more youthful cards. Twos about unions and fives about change. So I can
right,
see the dynamic that she was able to, not only because she, was the five of diamonds, but because she represented that time. She
right, right,
represented and she had an understanding about black men. You're talking about way back in before the civil rights movement. So
right,
she
right,
had
right.
a she had an understanding. So I know she was a good counsel to him,
Yes.
I know she was a good counsel because when he wanted to move, he had to, Mars Saturn is like, you want to move, but Saturn is like, no, you can't move right now because you're not finished building. So she would have been the counsel to help him along that line of understanding that this is a faith mission. This
Mm,
isn't about, the overall mission it was out there is about getting it done, but their
right.
mission was about faith.
Right. And what's so funny about those two relationship, and those that are just tuning in, we have the great Neena Dunham in the building, and of course she is the cardiologist, author, teacher, and
Heart
more.
specialists.
Card specialist and activator at Levin University. You could go to her website. Her email, her IG is diamond8. Linktree is still / peace 157, correct?
Yeah, the Cash App is Uranus.
Oh, you changed it?
Yeah, it's been changed for years now.
Really? I still had that. Last time I
Yeah, you
interviewed
changed
you.
it the last time. You changed it. I don't know how it came. It's Uranus 157. I left
Oh,
Saturn and I went into Uranus.
she went into Uranus and the 157 you said?
Uranus
157.
157. Yep.
157. Pardon me. Let me change that. And I think what else? What else had to be changed? Peace.
That's fine. Everything is fine.
The link tree. Okay, okay. Just want to make sure. And ironically, Clara Muhammad passed on before Elijah Muhammad, and Khadija Farrakhan passed on before Mr. Farrakhan. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
this is happening. So, what is that as far as relationship and choosing a mate that sometimes will leave before you or transition before you, according to your cards and the study of the
Well,
cardology and the
but
metaphysics?
yeah, somebody got to leave.
I
Somebody,
know that, no doubt.
my husband left before me, but my husband didn't have to leave. My husband was, young. He didn't have to leave, but he dealt with a lot of things that over time just were more than, his body could take. But
Mm,
we come here with a mission, and I think when you leave at that height, it's job well done.
yes,
It's like I've completed my mission. I've completed what I came here to do, and I get to exit. People who stay, I think that I don't know. I think that it's a testament that people who stay and they're healthy and they're able to do. But people who stay and they still can't get around and stuff like that, yeah, I don't know if that's the best, right?
hmm
But
hmm
I could see with Khadijah that was important, the send off and the love and everything that was given to her. It just was such an amazing testament to
right,
who she was. And we don't necessarily see that behind the scenes with a lot of great women. You would have to be in the Nation of Islam or close on some way to be able to see that, because of what you see all the time and what you hear was Farrakhan.
right. But
So
she was doing things behind the scenes that were
yeah,
very powerful for children, for standing up for women's rights and certain things as far as men and women working together in marriages and all that. She was doing a whole lot that we didn't know. And that's I think that there's a power that she held. She born the same day as Dr. Sabi, like I said, who also exude a certain amount of power when he was on this planet. And people like Tina Turner, born the same day, also exude a certain power when it came on this planet Earth, whether it was behind the scenes with Ike or when she got in front of the people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
yeah, because their card is the Seven of Hearts, and
right,
the Seven of Hearts, sevens are ruled by Neptune, and we
right.
know those are bridge cards, but they're also cards that can cause great disruptions, because
Mhm.
sevens are that. Sevens come along, and that's a very disruptive energy. It's a faith energy. It's about having faith. But the Seven of Hearts is an emotional energy. And in cardology, it's called the card of boundaries and the card of allowing. It's like
Mm,
you have to, when that card, the test it come, you have to know how to allow, because it is close to the Ace of Spades. That those people have a deep understanding of things on such an intimate level,
mhm.
that they have an understanding because of the trials and tribulations that they go through. It's
Right.
like you learn through fire. when you're dealing with the Ace of Spades. And this year, not by no strange coincidence, it's the Pluto card, and she left with that card being in Pluto.
Mm,
So that was real, intimate for me to see that. But the Ace of Spades is a fire card. Spades are fire. You're a Jack of Spades. You're all about fire.
right.
Y'all are the containers that hold everything together. So the Ace of Spades, with that card, you saying they're being them that they're powerful people. They're powerful people because they live something. If you haven't
Mm,
lived and you haven't experienced, and you're not willing to show that part of yourself, people don't know how powerful you are. But those people that you talked about, Dr. Sabi was a whole character within itself, right?
that's
So
right.
he just
That's the
he
truth.
was a whole he was a Sag, you
Yes,
know.
and both, yeah, her, and she was too, and Tina Turner. So
Hmm.
the females carry it differently than the male, you were saying.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
right,
yeah.
right. And how does that work with cardology? That the females carry the energy a little bit different, but still have certain similarities.
Well,
How does
the
that?
cards, the attributes of the cards don't change.
Okay.
Of course, we have more of the intuition, but there are men out there that have the intuition. So it can be either way. As long as a man is tapped into his emotional intelligence, then you're going to see it being expressed that way. But unfortunately, we see a lot of men in this day and time that avoid that. They
Mm,
avoid feelings, they avoid those connections and stuff with themselves, because it's not the connection with other people, it's the
right.
connection with yourself. Because patterns is saying that we have developed things and we keep doing it over time,
Hmm.
right? And we don't understand that each lesson comes, like if you meet somebody and you're in a relationship with that person and you end it, that doesn't mean that karma is ended.
Mm.
Because that what you were supposed to learn, it's I married my first person that I married. I didn't know anything about the cards. Was a nine of hearts.
Hmm.
And it, nine of hearts, today's a seven of diamonds, is the semi-fixed card to that. And that's Saturn. So that says a lot about me. That's my cosmic lesson, which is Saturn. So
Right.
I came here to be married and to be in bondage.
Mm.
And learned through that nine of hearts, right? But that relationship ended because of crack. But all of those years later, my second husband is the same card.
Wow. Wow.
That part.
That is a
So
part.
when I got into cardology, I looked at it. One was a Capricorn and one was a Virgo.
Right.
So I looked into it and I said, wow. So I thought I got away from that karma. No, the karma is going to express itself until you get the lesson.
And let me say this because there is a portion of your book called The Messenger and the one who needs to understand. But what I realize sometimes in the quote unquote Pan African movement or Black Power movement, a lot of them don't believe in this type of knowledge. And I remember there was a big thing at the gathering of the masters in the year 2000 with Bobby Hemmett and Dr. Khalid. May both, well, Bobby's still with us, but Khalid is gone, has transitioned, but Bobby's still with us. What is that all about? That sometimes the Pan African movement or Black Power movement will not accept the metaphysics, which is definitely behind the scenes in the darkness of the shadows. Why that some of them won't accept that and understand the metaphysics of or the deeper spiritual knowledge of the movement and how to use it better to navigate in this realm as a Black Power person or indigenous person or a Pan Africanist.
Christianity, plain and simple. That's it.
Well, Khalid was Islamic, and I know we believed in
Yeah, but he
mathematics.
he came from
Yes, he did
the
come from a
Christian back.
Christian. He did
He
come
was
from a
my
Christian.
imam, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
very familiar with him. He came from a Christian background,
Right, right,
so
right. He
that
did. He did. He did. He did.
ideology, and
Right.
even in Islam, in pretty much every ideology, I don't care what it is, there's some sort of where this is something that's taboo, and it's been planted there purposely, so it's taboo, and it makes people uncomfortable. just having conversations. I talk to people, but I don't mention astrology. I don't mention numerology. That's not something that I pull out, because people be like, whoa, 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 because it is a taboo, and that's understandable when you don't understand something, and that is indoctrination. It's indoctrination. People feel, you know, excuse me, there's no way you can read the Bible and not understand metaphysics, but
Right,
the
right,
pastor didn't tell them that.
right.
The
That's
pastor didn't say, when I'm sitting up here having these conversations, I wrote a book on the story of Jesus, and I wrote a book on Adam and Eve, with the name of the book is Eve Didn't Fall, She Was Pushed. So
I didn't get that one.
you didn't get that one? I gotta send it to you. It's on.
That's a good one, but who pushed the Lilith?
No, no. She was pushed, And in my book, my interpretation of my book is that they were in the garden. In cardiology, the grand solar squares is the Garden of Eden, right? The first square is the Ace of Hearts, which represents the Garden of Eden. So in my how I wrote it, because I could write whatever I want, that Eve was in the garden and Adam never spoke to Eve. If you read the story, he never spoke to her, he never paid her any attention, and neither did God. So the so-called serpent, the devil, was the first conversation Eve ever had. So the question was, why did Eve take the apple? Why did Eve do all of the things that she did? Because that's the first time she ever had anybody pay her attention.
No communication.
God or Adam never spoke to her. Read the book.
That's true. Wait a minute.
They
I'm
never
looking
spoke to
back
her.
at it.
The so-called serpent was the first one that spoke to her.
The only thing he did was blame her.
He didn't, and he named everything, and he named her.
Yeah,
But he
exactly.
never had a conversation with her. So the
Okay.
so-called serpent had a conversation with her.
Yes, he had to give the gab. He said, "Look here, baby."
He had the conversation. So that was the first time something you can imagine in your life. You going through your life, and it's the first time somebody ever saw you. Okay, you're gonna listen. So the serpent saw her, and she felt that connection. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And it's called Eve Didn't Fall, She Was Pushed, because God and Adam ignored her.
Look, hey, her website is pinned to the top of the chat now. Don't play. You want to get any of her books or thousands of her books? Because I didn't know she had that one. Oh, man.
Yeah, Eve Didn't Fall. Yep, that's my book right there. And that's one of my favorite books, too, because we think about the stories that we are told, and we stay in these stories about, this is it right here.
Oh, wow. I didn't see it. No, I did not get that book. I love that symbol right there.
Right? That's my symbol right there.
Big up to High Heels. High Heels says, that's deep. Never noticed that.
Hey, High Heels. Hey, sweetie. Hey.
And big up to Alba in the building. Oh, my goodness.
Genesis rewritten by me, because I can write whatever I want. Eve was in the garden, and Adam named everything, and he named her. God never spoke to her, neither did Adam. So when the serpent spoke to her, that's the first time she felt seen.
And that's why they come after the women in society before. They come and talk and give them all of the, they make sure they attract them a lot more than they wanted to attract men.
Because you ignoring. It's not, you can't be mad at her because
Go ahead, Nina.
I wrote the whole story the way I felt it. It's a beautiful story because I'm a woman, and I'm going to tell a beautiful story about women. I'm not going to say that she didn't trick him to do anything. She wasn't paying him no attention because he wasn't paying her any attention. But the serpent told her that. The serpent had that conversation with her. You notice God and Adam ain't talking to you. Okay.
Right.
He said Adam named you just like he named everything else.
Wow. That's right. I mean, a lot of people that flew right over their heads now, and in one of your chapters, you got what real alignment feels like. From your perspective, what should real alignment feel like when it comes to choosing a mate or choosing a partner or business partner, what have you? what should real alignment look like?
Well, it's the story you tell yourself that you have
Mhm.
you got to figure that out, because we tell ourselves stories that can be traced back for throughout our history.
Right.
We could have seen it through our parents and through stuff. So we have this story in our head of what a relationship is or what it feels like, because maybe, we didn't get the attention when we were younger. We're looking for the attention. So many things that did throw us off of our track. But it's timing.
Hmm.
It's timing.
Yes.
Because if you don't give it time, how do you know? It's like if you meet someone and you're in your Mercury period, you want to communicate, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this
yeah.
person is in their Saturn period. They don't want to
They don't want
communicate.
to communicate.
That's not what they want to do, because they have an understanding that it takes time. So you feel like, well, this person doesn't text me back. It's not that they're not into you. It's just that it's like to pick up the phone and text when you in Saturn is work. And they don't want to do that. It's not that they're not attracted to you. They don't want to work at it.
Mm.
They want to ease into it. You know what I mean? It's like it takes time. So you're going to ease into it, but you like, well, you didn't text me back. You didn't call me. And that makes them more restricted, because that's what Saturn does. So
Mm.
you'll make them think about a time where they weren't able to express themselves or they weren't seen. And then you don't understand why they keep pulling back, because
Hmm.
you want to communicate and they're saying, okay, I see you, but for me, it takes time.
Mm.
So
And
we're all in different stages in our life. It's like people look at the cards. The card is not the issue. The card is telling you, your sun card tells you every year your sun card is going through the 12 cards of learning how to express itself, right?
yeah, right,
That's not who you are. You are the expression of everything.
right,
But where
exactly.
you are in that pattern is what the book is about, because there's a pattern and you got to see how you express yourself in that pattern.
Right,
You have
right,
to see it, because the pattern is what is expressing itself. Because Mercury is not saying, okay, I want to figure this out. Mercury is not, that's not, with communication, is Mercury is saying, well, there's a pattern here. Let's look at the pattern. And how can we see? Because, yeah, relationships are work, but they don't have to be that kind of work. It's that thing that we get into, and how many times is something repeat throughout? That's the thing that we told ourselves. So it
right.
keeps repeating itself. It keeps repeating itself. When did you tell? I tell people all the time, just because that doesn't mean it's true. It
Mm.
doesn't mean it's true. You don't know what that person was going through. You don't know what your parents were going through. I used to have
Exactly.
beef with my mother all the time. At 14 years old, I had beef with my mother. Why did I have beef with my mother?
Why was that?
Because my hot ass wanted to run Brooklyn streets. So that beef at 14 became something that I took into my life. That I was just mad at her. But
Right.
she smelt it on me. She
Mm.
said, you know what I mean? I have to keep, and I have a King of Spades in Mercury. So she had to protect me. But in my mind, I just thought she was an evil witch.
Right, right. But she was protecting you.
So
Right, right.
how did I come into that understanding of the love that that woman had for me?
Mm.
And really of being appreciative of it, because everybody is going through something different. So we have to learn how to look at it from, after we become more in tune with ourselves, then we can now look at other people from a different perspective and say, yeah, she was right to protect you from yourself, because you did have a child at 17. Hello,
Mm.
somebody.
Hello. Exactly. And in your book, the 22nd chapter, you speak about the new patterns and living in alignment. And you also said this: you didn't come here to stop patterns; you came here to outgrow them.
Yes.
Talk about that, please.
Yes, you
That
came
was
here
very
to
important.
outgrow it, because it did happen.
Right,
We know it happened. But
right,
what do you keep telling yourself about it? It's like the story keeps repeating on up here. See, we're dealing with Mercury is up here, and clubs have this the worst,
right.
because clubs be looping and retelling it and regurgitating, and because clubs are teenagers. And when we get into relationships, we don't express ourselves authentically, so our heart shuts down. Our heart says, I can't trust you because the last person you were dealing with was not the best. So I'm going to wait for you to heal this because your Venus wants to talk. It wants to express itself. But how can it express itself when you keep dating the same people?
Mm. Mm.
Right? It's like you want to get out of that pattern of dating the same people, but until you feel inside of yourself and be like, yeah, this is a me thing. I
Yes.
keep doing the same thing over and over again, looking for a different result, and that's not going to happen. So
Mm.
the pattern is I have to have because in the beginning, everything starts with the conversation. Everything starts with Mercury.
That's right.
Everything starts with communication.
That's
But
right.
if you inside of your head with the conversation that the last person did this to me, and this, that, and my mother, and this, that, and the third, your heart is saying, I'll wait until you work that out. When you work that out, then I will be comfortable because we want to feel safe in relationships.
Mm.
But you can't feel safe in a relationship if you're not safe in your own body.
And I think that's where, again, family, she got a new book. She got 1,000 new books. But this particular book that I have holding in my hands, and she sent me another one that came in the mail the day 2 days ago. But this one here, Why We Choose Who We Choose, is a very good book, recognizing the patterns that shape our relationship. You can get it on her website. They can go to 11 university, right? .com and
They
get it.
can, or Amazon. They'll get it quicker from Amazon, but 11 University for sure.
Okay, okay. And on chapter 18, you said choosing differently, creating a new response. You can see the patterns, you can interrupt the patterns, but if you don't replace it, you will repeat it.
Yes.
Like you were saying. Right, right, right. So
Yes, you got to replace it. It's like, and this is what emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence is, because until, like, when we look at the cards,
Mhm.
it's going to show up. Like, it can show up at 10 years old. Then it shows up at 21. Then it shows up. It's going to show, but every time it shows, it should have evolved. But we
Right.
know that a lot of times people don't. They stay stuck in it. So if you don't recognize the pattern, then you're like, why does this keep happening to me? It's happening to you for you to grow.
What is the pattern from cardology? I've seen it in numbers, but what is the pattern of in cardology when you see pedophilia? People that's attracted to children, even women that are attracted to children, even men that are attracted. What is that? What do you
Well,
see?
we're energy, and that's the thing where it may be, and this is something that's very sensitive, but it may
Of course,
be
it's very
but you came here to experience that. You know why? Because you experienced it. That's
mm,
something that you signed up for. And I know it's hard for people to see
see
that,
that.
but
Yes.
you came here to express that. And with cardology, the card of sex is the nine of clubs, right?
Hmm.
So that is a very sensitive card. So whenever you have a nine of clubs child, you will find that that child is a little bit more precocious, a
Right.
little bit, the energy field. It's not sex, it's an energy. It's an energy. We think that it is sex, but it's an energy, it's freedom. It's like I can, because you nine of clubs, especially nine of clubs women, they can be very provocative.
Right. Right.
They
Right.
can be very expressive and it can be dangerous. But the card that is attached to it is the Queen of Hearts. And this is where the pedophilia comes in because
Mm,
the Queen of Hearts sits in Neptune.
right.
So
Right.
when someone sees and the Queen of Hearts is the most fanciful card in the deck. It is beauty. It is all senses, everything. It's Neptune. So when you see a 10-year-old, that pedophile doesn't. That pedophile sees its fantasy.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
and
Wow.
because they have not,
That's
they do
deep.
this through each lifetime.
That's
So
deep.
they haven't evolved into the understanding. So when they're doing that to a 10-year-old, they don't see a 10-year-old.
Mm.
They see
Mm.
their fantasy. They have a fantasy of whatever that fantasy that they have. Neptune is delusional.
I noticed it in the nines and the fives in numerology.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed in the even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, I noticed the attraction because those are like feminine numbers. I noticed the attraction, but especially in six, because six is very sensual and they can attract. I've noticed even through
Oh,
studying pattern cycles and sequences, I noticed people born under 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9 can have to be the parents have to be very careful who they keep those children around, especially teachers that might have that fantasy or that babysitter that might have that fantasy in them if they're not careful. You know what I'm saying? That's what I notice in numbers.
well, because those even numbers came here too. They came here. Life is free for them. The
Mm,
odd numbers are different, so they don't have the same. Odd numbers have more friction. So
right,
those in cardiology, those even numbers show up differently. They
right,
attract. Even
right.
numbers pull it to them.
Yes, and five, and nine could be the most addictive in numerology. Addiction, you know,
Yeah,
those two
yeah,
odd numbers can be a very odd in
yeah, yeah,
unusual for real, for real. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so powerful. Family, we were supposed to do a thing in New York, but you know, it's not enough time. But we had to cancel that. I might even move it to online and let us do an online workshop. That probably better right now until I'm ready to do one with them coming into town because he's coming from California. You'll be coming from Georgia. That's just not feasible in that little space, and it's not enough time. I need to promote for at least 3 to 4 months of something like this. To tell you the truth, but we canceled the event for the 25th. Those that was thinking about coming or waiting for their check on the 15th
Hey,
to
you
spend
did
money.
not say that. He didn't say anything for
It
the
is what it
check
is.
on
The
the
first or the
15th.
15th. Either the first or the 15th, but we coming in on the 25th. We're gonna move that to something else. We're gonna do something else, but I'm still gonna deal with my brother and sister here, Lorenzo. I'm gonna have him on so also, but we canceled that event at Mint Porch, but you can go to Mint Porch and support them. They got a very good vegan cafe there. The sister was gonna give away food upon every ticket purchase. So we're gonna do it again. We're trying to make sure she get her own location because we are not really satisfied with the location that she's in because she's in a mall. But that energy, her energy is good in the back gear, but the energy when you go in is totally different. So I'd rather move it and cancel it, save money, save face, and just keep on moving because you know I'm a professional promoter, not just one who just want to not just one who just want to do things just to do things. I need
Mm-hmm,
butts.
mm-hmm.
We need butts in the seat and I need to see people come out and learn. And I want to make sure we have the good screens and projection and all that. We might even do it at Nicholas one day. So you know, whatever. I'm trying to make you know, we're trying to make it happen. So, but again, it has been canceled for the 25th. So those that were trying to save up their money for the 25th. It's been postponed. It's been taken down off the link tree, the whole thing. Nobody spent any money, and I didn't want to keep on doing it. My spirit, you know what's so funny? My spirit woke up and said that to me. He said, "Yo, Simon, calm down." You know, after what I seen at the International African Arts Festival and the vibe, you know, a lot of people didn't want to give money and it was only $5. A lot of people just wanted to
Mm,
walk in for free. And I was like, wow. And the performances were wonderful,
mm.
wonderful, beautiful, melanated children and adults that came together, communicated well, and presented such a great weekend. You know what I'm saying? But people did not want to support. And I noticed that until I got up there like Reverend Ike at the end. And let me tell you, girl, they started coming towards after the Asaseya band did what they did, and they come from Kamati Denazulu's camp. And I knew Kamati Denazulu personally. Yo, he did the foot drum and the whole presentation was powerful. You hear me, Nina? But still, these people don't understand how important it is to keep our children doing that instead of doing what Sexy Red want them to do or Young Miami want them to do. And listen to India Irie. We don't want you to ban your expression, but like India Irie said, she's born October 3rd. She says choose, make proper choices so we don't have women out there selling and like you said being a hot ass at 17 10
Yeah,
9 years of age. But it's hard not to, you know, you can't control that. It happens in this society. So, you know, what is that all about where the boys and girls are so highly sexual? Or right now, women are going to jail more than the girls are going to jail more than boys. right now.
Well, no. Well, 20, 30 years ago, they said, you know why women are going to jail?
Uh-huh.
Because they built a jail for women.
They built the jail. Oh, because the jail women. Oh, okay.
They didn't have a jail for women back in the day. So
Right,
women are going to jail now, and everything is about the industries, and we have to understand that
right,
that
right.
sexy red and that's a whole industry. It's like
Yeah.
I saw the woman that they were talking about, and she said, "I'll never let my daughter listen to this kind of music." And so Cardi B said it too, that they never. I remember it was like maybe 30, 40 years ago. I don't know when Prince had his child, and he said, "I'll never let my child listen to my music." I never listened to Prince since. I'm like, y'all can love him all you want. But
And
if you telling me your music ain't good enough for your
no
child,
child to
it is
listen.
not good enough for anybody.
Anybody's
So we
child.
don't listen. And that's the thing, is like those things are spells. And he knew what he was saying was a spell, but he wouldn't let his child listen to it. So she is saying, my children are better than this, but your children aren't.
Mm.
Because this is an industry. This is an industry that is put together. We are always going to have. Can you
What
curse on here? I don't know.
I
Can you?
mean, you could say a few choice words, but children do listen to my channel. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just put this up because that's the book I wrote. We always going to
Oh,
have.
nigga. Oh, we can say nigga. Girl, stop playing. Like Paul Mooney said, nigga made my teeth clean. You know,
We
nigga,
are
nigga, nigga, nigga,
always
nigga, nigga,
have.
nigga, nigga, nigga.
We're always going to have niggers because niggers are the industry
Exactly.
that makes America go. Period.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's the industry that.
Put
And the
that book
book.
up again. Put that book up again. Because Dick Gregory wrote a book like that before back in the day. Nigga. That's right. There it is.
And
Because
there's a book out there that I had for years, the Nigger Bible.
I remember, yeah, I remember the nigga
Remember
Bible.
the
Yes,
Nigger
I do.
Bible?
Of course, I remember the nigga Bible. So I used to sell it.
You should sell it, right? So this is for young people because it tells where it started and why. This
Yes.
this reminds, when they say that, it's power, and it reminds that you are a commodity. That's it. It's just that, and then that's the plain and simple. And you said you got the book. The book that I wrote about it is 1582. And in our community, that's something that we don't talk enough about because the calendar changed. And when the calendar changed, that's when everything changed, our rhythm. And
Right.
we're coming back. You got, oh yeah.
This one I got. You sent me two of these though.
I
Two of
did.
these. Yeah, two of
Oh
these
yeah,
came
because
from
I
you.
wanted you to bring it to the thing.
Oh, okay, okay. That's why. Oh, okay,
Yeah, I
okay. I'm
wanted you to
sorry.
bring it to the thing we were going to have. But
Right, right.
1582 talks about the calendar because in 1582 is when the Pope decided to change the calendar, and that was to take away our who we were. But when people say CP time, that's our rhythm. So
Right.
we have never really totally went into the calendar because of CP time. So that book talks about from 1582 to 1982. That was 400 years. And
Mm.
in 1982 is when they introduced the internet. That's when they introduced social media. So that was, and it wasn't working anymore. And this is what they figure out. So it wasn't working anymore. So the internet became the new confinement. So
And
Pluto.
let me say this. Her books are written like a bulletproof, a bullet point poetry book. I want people to know, and it's very simple to read, very simple for even children, very simple. When I say when you look at, I know they can't see this the front of it, but inside the, I mean the chapters again to me it's like poetry, simple poetry that you will get right away if you get any of her books right now. I'm telling you, family. And big up to Aquarius Maximus because she done gave you an agent, and you are going absolutely bonkers with this agent.
I can't even, it is, my daughter is the
They're
technocrat.
brilliant.
That's
Yes,
all she does is techno. She's fixing it now so I can do my videos. You know how they doing those little videos? So I'm gonna
yes.
be able to do my own videos and stuff.
Is that through Everything Black?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put Aquarius Maximus new website, everythingblack .xyz. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Y'all can also get yourself an agent that will work for you, an AI agent. And yo, you've been studying for years. Who was one of the first master teachers did you listen to back in the day when you were younger?
I was 14 and I started in the Black Panthers. And I went from, it was the first one would have been Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
Because my brother was in he was with Elijah Muhammad. He wasn't with the nation. I had some that was with the nation and others were with Elijah Muhammad. Then they went to the Ansars. So I
Right.
don't have, and then my brother's a Hare Krishna. So I have
Oh,
a
what?
little tape. Yeah, I have. He
Hurry.
started. He's like one of the last two surviving members that founded Hare Krishna in America.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, he so I don't have one of the most powerful one, of course, was Khalid Muhammad. Did you ever know Brother Haq Muhammad?
Of course, I knew Brother
You
Hawk.
did? It's oh
You mean
yeah.
In Coney Island?
He was in he was at Charlie's Story on Nostrand.
Dark skin Hawk.
Yeah, Haq.
Yeah, yeah, that was one of my teachers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
was
one of my
one of
teachers.
yeah, him and Khalid were our imams.
But
And
he's Aquarius. He's born February 6th.
hey, well, yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know
he's
that.
in Coney Island right now with his wife. Him and his wife are still in Coney Island now. They live
Yeah,
in
they
Coney
were
Island.
good. They were good people. They
Yeah,
made the most impression because they genuinely loved and cared. You
right.
know
And
what I mean?
he used to be in the 5% Nation back in the day,
Oh
also
yeah, for sure.
back in the beginnings parts of New York
Yeah,
and all that. And
yeah,
then he came to the Nation of Islam. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm
So,
gonna get him on my channel because he got a new book he's about to finish writing. So I'm gonna get him
oh,
on my
okay,
channel. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I don't have this individual because I was under my brothers. Back then it was male swine city back then when I was growing up in the 70s. So I was under my brother's teachings. I
Right.
was raised underneath my brothers. So I don't have specific other than them as
Right.
my spiritual masters, and then my brother, and then the masters that they studied under.
I'm gonna share this video with him right now because he does watch my program every night when he get a chance. Because he's not in the nation under Minister Farrakhan. He's in the United Nation of Islam. The ones that don't follow only follows Elijah Muhammad. That's all they with. That's strictly who they with now. But he was my I was a student of his in the ministry class back in the early 90s. So, me, Arthur Muhammad over New York here, New York 7, Muhammad Mars number 7, and Brother Henry was all in that class when we was younger. I was studying to be a minister. I still have the minister's manual and everything, learning how to speak and articulate the message of the messenger and the teachings
Hmm.
of Elijah Muhammad. But, you know, with this book here, going back to your book, Why We Choose Who We Choose, very important. Family, if you want a good relationship book, something that is simple, there's a chapter in here that says, before you move forward, take a moment not to think, to be honest. That is crazy.
Honest.
And I had to do that recently. Before I move forward with a relationship, I had to take a moment not to think and to be honest with myself. Do I want to deal with that type of person? And they may have felt that I ghosted them and I don't want it, but it is what it is. I had to just keep it moving as my Aquarian energy could not gravitate to certain things. And I will self-sabotage a relationship in a minute. I have no qualms with that. And I'll tell people that and I'll tell you in a text or I'll talk to you on the phone and tell you I had to self-sabotage. And you might, it's all my
No, no,
fault.
no. It's not self sabotage. It's fire in the hole.
Fire
Boom!
in
I
the
had to
hole!
blow
Fire in the
that
hole!
up.
'Cause if somebody starts cursing at me or saying certain things to me, I'm like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. Not as I'm getting into 60s and going into my 70s and all that. I'm about to be 60 next year. I ain't got no time for the foolishness. I'll tell you the truth. And that somebody said that part. Exactly. That part for real, Karen. So I had to like just, as a good a person that person that she is, a good person, worked together before. I just could not. I can't deal with it. And she probably, and probably, probably hurt her feelings. But it is what it is. I got to protect myself. And men. Somebody said men are choosing themselves now. I was watching a comedian. Men are starting to choose themselves. Also.
Lord. So,
And we-
tell me, what did you think about the husband book? Because that's a Jack of Spades. Did you see yourself in it?
you gave me the husband. Hold on one second. Talk about that real quick, cause you gave me the card out. You gave me the Jack of Spades.
Yeah, the husband is is the solar value of the Jack of Spades, and it talks about how how you
I
described
I
that
did. I
because
did not. I did not read it because I was going into this other one to prepare for you, of course. But I have. You gave me like I got like 10 books, and I like that. No, I love books. I gave you a shelf by yourself.
no, wow.
That's why I told you when you.
That's so impressive.
Oh
But
yeah,
the
yeah,
husband is a book that talks about what the husband really is.
yes,
And when you said that you would sabotage it, in there it talks about that you have to be able to hold it. If you
yeah.
can't hold it, then that's where the sabotage comes in. And you thought about that. You said, I can't hold this.
Nah.
The spades has to hold it. The spades are the container that holds everything together. So that's what the husband represents.
And interesting enough, my Jupiter is Cancer. My grandmothers
Mm-hmm.
were Cancers,
Mm-hmm.
and the person happened to be a Cancer. But just because my Jupiter is Cancer, don't mean I need to be in a relationship with that. It just means I expand probably through business and other means with
Mm-hmm.
that, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
I noticed. And I had to pull away, honestly, be honest to myself. And again, I sabotaged it. I will say I just shut that down, and I'm not. Nah, I'm good.
Because you said, I don't know, it was last year, the year before, you was like, I'm not gonna be in relationships right now. You
Yeah,
said it. You
last year I
said
did say that last year.
so you had to stick to it. You
But
said I gotta do me.
but this was one that last year was that year. But this year is really a weird and unusual attraction will come towards because I was in a four
To test
personal
you to
group.
see if you was gonna
Right,
change that pattern.
right. And it sure enough shut my ass down.
See,
My
that's
the
that's
number four
it.
year that I'm in shut me down because four can be a confinement. Say, Negro, be
Yes.
disciplined with yourself first and stay focused. And yeah, and I think even in my other 4 years and the patterns, again, I have to be careful of the patterns. And you're right. That's why I had to do because I'm going to interview her on all of her books. but I had to do this one because I noticed certain things. And you know, when you say be honest, what are you saying in chapter 23 when you say take a moment not to think, to be honest before you move forward in any relationship?
Yeah,
Please.
because you got to be honest. It's like you having a conversation. Okay, I was dating him and he did X, Y, and Z. But you got to go back to how you attracted X, Y, and Z. You got
Right.
to be honest to yourself because this person didn't just appear out of air. That person appeared because there was something inside of you that needed to be dealt with. So you
Right.
got to be honest about that. It's like, how do I feel? And that's the main thing that we don't do. Is like, how do I feel about what happened? You don't
Right.
have to talk to the person because 9 times out of 10, I'm never going to tell you. It once it's done, it's done. I don't need to tell you. But I have to be honest with myself. I feel like why have a conversation if the person isn't able to receive it? So
Mm.
once you have got to that place where you know this person isn't at the same place that you are, you got to be honest with yourself. It's like we want people to hear what we have to say. They may not have room. They're not in that space to hear you right now.
What's the problem with accountability? Sometimes I find it hard. I find that sometimes women find it hard to be accountable to certain things. Be
No
accountable.
such a thing. It's not we don't have any problem being accountable now. We're gonna pull that one back. Accountability isn't it's not and see, we have to go back to where it all began. Because
Nah.
when you have this pattern inside of your head that you have to do everything, and that's just that's the whole skinny of it. Women carry everything. And this year, last year, we in the United States started a new year. The Eight of Clubs was in Pluto, and the Eight of Clubs is the card of the solar value of the black women. And you saw black women sitting at home doing their nails, drinking tea, and doing that self-care because they came to understand that they were doing more than they were supposed to do. So accountability, it's not a lack of accountability.
Mhm.
It's the lack of you understanding that it's not yours to carry. Now,
Mm.
when somebody says it's not theirs to carry, you can say, I'm not taking accountability. No, it's not mine. It's not
Okay.
mine to carry. I don't have to take accountability for it. We have to each, it says in the book, when we go into a relationship, what changes? Something
Mm.
changes instantly when you get into a relationship, and we don't pay attention to that. It's like we
Okay.
think we're two people melding together, but we're not. So it's not that women are not taking accountability. Women are saying it's not mine to carry. And men are looking at it as you're saying you don't take account. I should have never been carrying it. I don't have to say take accountability for something I should have never carried. We take on things and we carry things, and that's not ours. So not saying she's not taking accountability is that she's finding a new vibe in herself. She's finding a new rhythm in herself where she's not going to hold what's no longer hers. So it's not a lack of accountability. It's a lack of emotion. It's now your emotional intelligence is clicking in. It's because this person wants you to do X, Y, and Z. And when you're trying to express yourself, you know the tricknology that men do. Men do their tricknology. Because that's saying that women don't want to take accountability is hogwash. Because we have taken accountability since the moment we stepped on this planet. That's why we're still here. So we're not accepting accountability. We're not carrying what's not ours anymore. Pluto says, Pluto wants you to have the desires of your heart. And Pluto says, what are you going to have after everything is stripped away? What are you going to have? That's you. So after everything is stripped away, it's just you. So women, especially Black women, are seeing that. They're saying it's just me. It's just me. I'm carrying stuff that's not mine. So it's not that they're not taking accountability, it's that they should have never been put in that position to have to take accountability. You should have never put me in a position where I have to carry everything. That's where Black women are now, where they're breathing, they're exhaling, they're feeling for the first time ever, this isn't mine to carry. It's not mine. We have to understand what role we play. And unfortunately, as a Black woman, people see us as strong. We should not have to be strong. We should not have to. We should not have all of these labels of proving our point. They're proving our point. Why should I have to be strong? That's just, so we're not taking accountability. We're saying it's not ours to carry anymore.
Yeah, but Neena, if you want to be like men, then what you think is going to happen if you allow the European man to promote manhood to women? That's what's going to happen.
Okay, but see, we're going back to day one again, because if men were men, we wouldn't have to do what we do. So we don't want it. I'm the last person in the world. You ain't never had that conversation with me. I'm a girly girl. I get out the car. And
I know you're a girly girl. I know you're a girly girl.
I don't do anything.
Yeah, but we know that the enemy was formidable. We know the enemy was formidable that put us in this position together to fight each other to this point, to this day. That sounds good, but everybody ain't gonna read that book. I got the book.
1582 is when it began. It began in 1582 when they changed the calendar. They changed our rhythm. Period. Until we get back into our rhythm, none of these conversations, our rhythm is off. We were outside people. We went outside. We saw the sun. We saw the moon. We were outside people. We weren't inside. We weren't people that were doing all of the things that they did. So until we get our rhythm back, our own rhythm, we can't correct the things that are wrong.
How long will it take? Now you're showing us 400 years. Yes.
Oh,
Dr. Africa said it might take 400 to 500 years.
Oh, yeah. No, because you know what has changed? Pluto went into Aquarius. So in 2025 is when we came online. If you go back to 2025, that's when the next change came. But this is the change. This is this fight for spirituality. That's why you have Young Miami, because now we had the digital.
And she's Aquarius, She's Aquarius.
Yeah, well, she's gonna get dragged by Pluto too. So we had the digital, and now we're in the spiritual realm. So 2025 introduced us as 2025 was 444 years, right? So that talks about that in the book. So 2025 introduced us into the spiritual realm. So now we are being targeted. We're being targeted because of that mainframe that we have that's coming online. We're getting our rhythm. Like you said, the drums. You said you talked about that. They couldn't feel it. They
Right.
couldn't feel it because you got the phone. You carry a mini computer with you everywhere that is sucking up all of your energy. So the
Right.
drums and the natural beat, I'm a Libra. It's all about music. I just listen to music and I zone out. So
Yeah.
that rhythm that is coming back online is being distorted. So
Right.
until we get, and the music is changing, people are doing sound bowls and people are doing all of these things because
Mhm.
the music is changing. With Pluto and Aquarius,
Go ahead.
right. So Pluto and Aquarius is saying we know what and this is a 20-year transit and we're only 2 years in. So at the end of 20 years, this world won't be recognizable. Plain and
Mm.
simple. It doesn't mean that you'll be okay, but the
Right.
world at large is changing. Pluto is saying that this is something that we have to address. And Pluto is like, after everything else is now been exposed, what? Now what?
Mm.
So
Mm.
this is something that, and as long as we stay within the calendar, it's not going to change. The calendar was put in place to keep us from who we were.
Right.
We are spiritual beings. We worship. We don't worship, but we do. We're with the moon. We're with the tides. That was taken away from us. So until we get our rhythm back, that's what we're working on. Let's get our rhythm back. So once we get our rhythm back, then we can have healthy relationships and healthy partnerships. But if you're out, if CP time is important. When they say CP time, they talking to each other to pay attention because they don't like us to have CP time. We should
Mm.
never be on time. The
Mm.
calendar was not meant for us.
Right.
So CP time means that there's a remnant in you that's telling you I should not be on time.
So, well, wait, take a step back. Come on, stick a pin. You said which calendar wasn't for us because there were calendars or
No, 1582 is when they changed the calendar.
oh, about the change of calendar. But what about the ancient calendars that's on the ceilings and the walls of either temple?
We didn't use those calendars. We
That's
didn't
not
need those.
that's not true. That's not true, Nina. That is not true. That is not true.
But the
Don't do that.
natural rhythm, but people make stuff in put it in however they put it. But I'm talking about inside of us, our natural
Okay,
rhythm
a natural
does
rhythm.
not
Okay,
format to anybody's calendar.
okay,
It doesn't. When we went out, we knew that it was time to grow, it was time to move. We knew that sun rose, is set.
right.
We have a natural rhythm. It doesn't have to be written down anywhere. That's man. That's not
Mhm.
woman.
Mhm.
Man wants to write things down. Man uses that side of his brain where I gotta.
To
We
bring
are natural.
to bring it to fruition so they can see what's happening. Okay,
Yes.
right. So they want to make it tangible. They
So
want
in
to make
15,
it tangible, right?
so in 1582, they removed 10 days from the calendar.
Mm.
So those 10 days are rhythm. So it threw the rhythm off by 10 days.
What about the science where they say that in actuality the one wasn't a one, it was a J. 1792 was really J.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because of Justine. I don't know if it was because of the Justine era, but I know I had Dr. Ali up here talking
Mm-hmm.
about it and breaking it down because he does cardology also, but he does the Mayan cards. He deals with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? The Mayan cardology that they have, that ancient Aztec cards that they're studying in indigenous places. Have you studied it yet?
The Dojin, all of it's in this book.
Which book you talking about? Now,
1582.
okay, you mean the card, like cards and all that?
All of it, everything that we indigenously know is talked
Okay.
about in that book.
Yes, I see the Gregorian calendar. Okay, I got to go through this. I'm carrying this upstairs to my bed tonight.
Yeah.
I go.
So it
You know,
talks about all of our indigenous tribes, all of the indigenous things that were taken away when they took those 10 days out of the year. Those 10 days out of the year were taken out purposefully because it changed the rhythm from then on. And that was done by the Pope.
and some of them they remove 1,000 years. Some of them that they've removed thousands. Again, it's man. Woo, girl, we're gonna have to. We getting into. It's already into 9:21. We gonna get this thing moving to get out of here. I'll keep on going with questions, and I ain't write down nothing. I'm just flowing with whatever my energy is saying. Well, On that note, let me just share your website again in the chat, man, because you have definitely give her a well-deserved round of applause. She definitely handled her. She teaches different than her daughter, but both of them come with the fire in their own way. You know what I'm saying? So, but I can
I'm
tell when.
older than her.
Yeah, I know you got, and you got some seniority.
I'm older. I have, she was raised in a metaphysical household. She was raised with all of this, and she took it to the next level. She
Yes.
did. She just ran with it, and she taught me cardology. To be honest, I was doing the cards, the destiny cards, since in 2001. But when she started doing cardology, is when it came online for me. So, you know,
No, right, right. Do you,
we are, the little avatars that come. She
what
taught me. She teaches me a lot. So
the last question I have before we get out of here? Her website, her Instagram is all on pinned to the chat already, pinned to the top of the chat already. I shared it with multiple people also on my Instagram, also my YouTube, and I mean my text. The last question I have for you, my dear, in regards to parents of old school having a hard time to compliment their children, to let them know that they really love and care about them. Because a lot of us, they showed, a lot of parents back in the day only showed us that they love us, they didn't say that they love a lot. So what do you say to that dynamic where people say, I showed you I loved you by this and this, and providing that, instead of saying it to that child that needed to hear it or whatever.
but you wouldn't know you need to hear it until somebody told you needed to hear it. You
Mm,
didn't need to hear it. You needed to live it. You needed to experience it. Somebody says, then this is the technology of 1582.
right.
Somebody said your parents don't tell you that they love you, they don't hug you, so something is wrong. No, it's not.
Mm,
No, it's not. My parents weren't huggers, but my mother and father loved me greatly and dearly and protected me and did everything. I didn't know that there was something wrong not being hugged because it wasn't talked about. So the moment somebody tells you, oh, your parents don't hug you, then this is where the pattern starts. Something's
okay.
wrong with me because my parents don't hug me. Now you forget all of the good things that they do.
Right.
You forget the love because you following behind those other people that definitely don't follow that ideology. But this is to frustrate you. These things frustrate you. It's
Right.
like there's always something that comes along that frustrates you. It's like, I'm not worthy of love because my family never said it. Really? Are you
Mm,
serious? You wouldn't
mm.
have known that till somebody told you that your parent people show through. There are lots of people
So
that
so
do.
so so wait a minute. So really, these therapists are not necessary.
No, they're not because they get paid. They get paid. They've created an industry. They've
Thank
created
you.
an industry.
Thank you.
They've created an industry. How do I know that? How does a child know? You have some children. I have Aquarius Maximus never wanted to be hugged as a child. I have
Mm,
another daughter that hugged and kissed all of the time. There's nothing wrong with her. She just
right.
didn't want it. So
Right.
I'm gonna say, oh, something's wrong with me because she doesn't want to hug me. No, that's just not how she expresses herself. So if somebody says to you, oh, did your parents hug you? And you say no, then they go bingo.
Right.
Then they play in your head. Well,
Right.
that's what's wrong with you. You
Right.
didn't get the love that you needed. So that erases all of the love that your parents gave you. The roof over your head, food, clothing, shelter. Come on, that's
But but
technology.
but again, let's take it a little back. Let's take, because now that it's been permeating through the heads of these children up to this adulthood, how do you reverse it and how do you heal from it?
That's the pattern. We got to go back to that. We got to go back to, it's not that the parents don't hug you, it's the story you tell yourself about it. It's
Mm,
not that they don't hug you, but the story that they told you, whoever who pointed it out to you, is telling you something is wrong with you because your parents don't hug you.
Right, 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 right.
So the
And
story that
plus television and media is promoting it also. They always promoting that madness. You know,
that's to
it,
frustrate you.
that's yeah, that's that, mental health and all that, and then you think you're mentally unstable because you wasn't hugged or kissing, and that does traumatize. Remember the song, sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. But people have been called names, and it has hurt them. You know what I'm saying, over and over again. So
Yeah,
that's
because
the
that's what
pattern,
because it's not the name, it's what you tell yourself about the name.
and accept what it is. Right, right.
It's not that somebody called you a name, because it didn't matter to me. I had six brothers they were my bullies. So when I went outside, it didn't matter what you said. It's like, cause I was raised in a house where I had to learn how to duke it out and do all kind of things. So I was good. But if
Wow.
somebody told me, and now I'm gonna tell you right now, my family was abusive, but I didn't know that. It was normal to me. I didn't know they was abusive. Somebody would tell you, well, your brothers did this to you, that was abuse. No. So
Mm,
it's not what it's not the what I think about it, the pain, the suffering. I never thought it was pain and suffering. They were my brothers. That's what they did. They beat me up. So somebody would tell me, well, that's what was wrong with your childhood. And then I'll start doubting myself. I'll start thinking
oh,
something is wrong with me.
okay, okay, okay.
Children don't know these things. It's like, and this is something that's very, very touchy. But a child that was sexually molested doesn't know it was wrong till somebody tells them it was wrong.
But what about certain children that felt that it was wrong?
Because
Right then,
somebody told them it was
no,
wrong.
no, right then and there, they didn't wasn't told, but they felt that this wasn't supposed to be happening right now.
Why did they feel it? Because the person told them that is doing it to them, that they needed to keep it a secret, or something was told to them to make them feel it was wrong.
Okay, that's what you're sticking with.
Yeah, because if it's a pedophile and they're doing something to you, well, you can't tell your parents, right?
Okay.
Isn't that what they're going to
But
tell you?
what about cousins that might be your same age that's
Mhm.
doing it, or like maybe saying, and you just because you're with your cousin, you love your cousin, you do it anyway. How's that work? Because that happens too.
Yeah, but did somebody tell you it was wrong?
No.
Then it's not wrong.
Wait a minute. Hold on one second.
It's
Eh,
not.
It's wrong if that person didn't feel right. Okay, when I was young, my cousin tried to kiss on me, a male cousin, and I didn't that to me it didn't feel right. So I just didn't
Right.
never wanted to go back to that house again.
Right.
I'm not,
Okay. Okay. But
but
what did
nobody
you?
told me it was wrong. Something innately told me it
Right.
wasn't
But what
wrong.
did you tell yourself about that
That
experience?
wasn't right. That's not
Okay. But
right.
but did you get traumatized?
Not really. No, I just didn't go back to that person's house. But that was a
Right.
form of the trauma.
Right. But somebody would tell you in the way that they tell it to you,
Right.
you might feel you did something wrong.
Okay.
You
Right.
might feel it was bad
Right.
because of the way they tell it to you.
Right. Right.
Because you
Right.
didn't do anything wrong. You were just there.
Just there, and but he might have learned some type of sexual act that made him, because he's like
Yes.
one of the youngest of the children. And then I'm like, what? This is weird, and I just wanted to get away from him and go back upstairs.
We
What
have to
else?
have different conversations about sex. The United States is the most
Mhm.
sexually corrupt place that there is. We have too many taboos around sex. Period. Too many taboos. If it feels good, something is wrong. What the what?
Yeah, but come on, Nina, they're having sex with, I mean, taking off little babies. Some of these
No,
people,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the taboos that have been set up that have
right?
distorted the whole sexual experience.
Yeah, but again, they have people that enjoy dogs. They have people that enjoy chickens. They have people who enjoy little children. Of course, there's a taboo because nobody want that done to their dog or their chicken or their
Yeah, but
child.
if somebody don't tell you about it, how you know?
But innately, not to do it. You're not supposed to have no sex with no dog. You can innately know that. Innately, you can know
I'm
that. That's
sorry,
just right.
but when a man don't know nothing, I don't care what you say. Men don't. Something that men may not necessarily have control over that part.
Maybe European men, but black men understood. Maybe European men. I
But
say
black
European
men ain't
because
gonna confess to it.
European men lived in the cave and had sex with animals. They did their thing. They had sex. They killed animals just to put on it as a fur coat.
But for me, the energy of for me, I'm saying the taboo around the feeling. The energy of sex is the nine of clubs. The
Right.
nine of clubs is universal knowledge. Everybody understands sex,
Right.
right? No, because it's been distorted.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody doesn't because what you just said, down on the farm, that's natural to have sex with the horses and the pigs and the stuff
With
like
who?
that.
With who?
You ain't, it's
Which
normal. I'm just
not,
telling you it is.
not amongst the original people.
Oh,
No.
well, I don't know about the
Now,
original.
the animal sex was definitely found in India in their stone writings back in the day. Now I know that for a fact. And then Europe also took that on, Greek and Rome, and then you had Black Greeks and Romans also. But you again, it was you could tell that if it's on the wall, and then of course, if a disease or something comes out of that, then it was wrong. It happened. So somebody catch gonorrhea. I remember having the book called The Diseases of Rome. What? Syphilis, gonorrhea, all of that because they're having sex with dogs and animals and all kinds of things. That's crazy. We watched Caligula together. I watched Caligula at 12 years of age. I'm like, what the hell is she doing with the horse? We ain't doing horses.
But that person came here to experience that.
I know, no, I don't doubt the experience. This is the learning center. I don't doubt the experience. But if eventually you turn out having some type of disease or some type of thing that's going to obstruct the nature of your body, then it was wrong. It's proven to be wrong now. Would you say that's right?
No.
If a disease shows up, you think it's not right, then somebody like Caesar, they deteriorated themselves with gonorrhea and syphilis after doing all kinds of madness. Yes, it shows because it killed them.
Yeah, but I'm saying for me, I understand what that is, but what I'm talking about, there's so much distortion around.
I understand
sex.
that. I understand that. You're right. You're right. There's been, especially in this day and time, especially from a multitude of years, yes. But again, if man and man come together and it causes a unnatural thing to occur out of the man after they've done it, then there's your proof that it wasn't supposed to be done. That's what I'm trying to say. There's your proof of disease.
Yeah, but who determines what's unnatural?
But I'm saying if it's done, if it's unnatural to each other, man having sex with each other on in the backside, whatever you do, and then they turn up with some type of disease and it kills both of them because of it, then it was wrong because it naturally wasn't supposed to happen. It was an unnatural act. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it shows up. Diseases show up. It shows.
People came here. People incarnate to come back here to experience stuff. It's a choice.
That. Yes,
it's
I know
choice.
That. You're right.
So who am I to judge?
I'm not saying judge, but it does show up in nature after a while.
It does.
Something happens. Something happens. Syphilis, gonorrhea, all this stuff happens.
But it could be done in a better way where diseases aren't spread.
Yeah, we got condoms and all kinds of foolishness now. We didn't have it back then, Des. Come on, Nina, come on now. We didn't have it back then. You having sex with a horse will kill you.
Might kill a horse too.
You'll kill the horse for food.
But I'm saying that for me, if we take away the taboos, we wouldn't have so much distortion with sex. There's too many taboos around. What I do, I can have monkeys behind this screen. You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know, but
because I ain't telling you, it's none of your business.
But damn, monkeys will come up on their own and tell you that we there.
I ain't telling you. Back in the day, people didn't tell you they're freaky deaky. Now people talk too much.
Is it taboo or was it rules and laws that had to be presented?
There's no such a thing.
I mean, okay. This is we still here, but think about this. If the law of the heart is supposed to pump blood and receive blood, if you go against what your heart is supposed to have, if your heart gets clogged up because of what you did to yourself, what is that? That is a law that you just obstructed.
But that doesn't have nothing to do. That doesn't have nothing to do with me being attracted to something you don't agree with. If I want to experience it, I'm not asking your permission.
I understand, but if something turns out and comes out of it, what happened? What
I'm
that
not
mean?
telling you.
Yeah, of
It's
course
none of
you're
your
not going to tell me,
business.
but at least you know.
It's none of your business.
It's just like a lot of people that like to use toys, and then the toys is obstructive to their system after that. Their whole walls get torn out or messed up because of a rubber toy that they keep on using over and over again. But you won't tell it that. You won't tell us. Of course, we're allowed to keep secrets, but it still don't mean that it ain't happening. It's still
Yeah,
happening.
it's not happening. But for me, the taboos, if we get past the taboos and
Okay.
people are able to express themselves and do whatever
Okay.
they doing, whatever the heck that they do, and but it's the thing that they think about it. It's like,
Okay.
oh, they said I shouldn't be doing this. That's the problem. That's the part that messes up society, because now you feel bad about something that you did that you enjoyed. Yeah, come
Hmm.
on now.
Okay. I
I
mean,
don't agree with that. If
but
I wanted to do it,
is there a proper way to have sex and a right way and a wrong way to have sex?
no.
Really? Okay, please explain.
We're spirit. This body is the meat suit that does whatever it does. But spiritually, we came here to have experiences, and we use the body for those experiences. The body is just a tool for
Okay.
experiences.
Okay. 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 I don't doubt that, but we still have incarnated into a realm that has its cause and effect. We
It
have to.
does. It does, because if you do something right that is against your who you are, that's different. But I'm not going to say it's against society, because I'm not telling society.
Hmm.
I ain't
But
telling on myself, so you ain't gonna know. But
but
if it's something that I feel, it's like you think about people say, well, you shouldn't masturbate. How is that your business?
right. I mean, some people didn't tell in the celebrity world. Arthur Ashe didn't tell he had it until later, and then he didn't tell until it started manifesting in skin ailments and other things. It started manifesting. That's where it is. Something is going to tell it, even if you don't say it. Somebody, nature is just. The
They have
universe
a
is just.
cure for it now.
No, but the universe is just. The universe will tell us like, hey, Negro, you should have been doing that for at least 10 years.
Oh my God. I
Got
tell you.
you.
I t- yeah.
Nina, I love you. Nina, I love you. Nina, I love you. But we definitely gonna talk about this 1582 after I get into it. Oh my goodness. Next, she got the book called Husband. I mean, I just showed you the website. She got over 30 something books. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. Check this out. Oh my goodness. And we spoke briefly more about this book here, family. Nina, any last words about coming together in relationships? Please, why we choose who we choose.
Yeah, spend that time to, I have a right now we're doing I'm doing a mentorship, so anybody can join. It's a mentorship where we're breaking this down, and
Okay.
it goes on this continuum, and we're looking intimately at ourselves,
Okay.
because that's something that we don't do. We don't intimately look at ourselves. And from that point, then, because me, you, everybody that's in here that's listening to this, we were called to do something. So we
Mhm.
have to be with each other. We have to be able to support each other. We have to have people that we can talk to about these things, because we are going to be called to do this work. That's the bottom line.
That's
You
true.
have a mission that you came here to be born in this time. This is the best time ever. I mean, stuff is happening now, generational. This is a time where people say you can change generational curses. That's Pluto and Aquarius. You
Mhm.
don't have to do the work, but it's going to change, because Pluto is going to force you to look at things and see it. Now, you change it or not, it don't matter. Pluto's not going to make you change it, but the thing is going to keep happening over and over again until you look at it, whether or not you change it or not. Because we know people can see the neon sign and they still don't change.
They wasn't supposed to change. Maybe they wasn't
Exactly.
supposed
They enjoy what they doing, right? It's only when it starts spilling over into your stuff that you don't want it. It's like, no, I didn't come to experience that.
to. Right,
So
right.
that's when we look at it and say, well, why did I attract this person? That's me. I want to know, because I'm
Would you?
like, if you came to me, I got to shore my walls up. If some certain people come to me, that tells me that I'm not doing the right thing.
Right, right, right. It's just like flies landing in your milk. It's like, what the hell? What you doing
It's
there?
like I'm like, if this is what I'm attracting, there's something wrong. That's me. I'm going to fix it. I'm like, because you should never be trying to get, you shouldn't be trying to get close to me. You
Nina,
should know that that's not a good thing. So
Nina,
if certain people penetrate that, I'm going in and I'm going to repair whatever it is so
right.
I don't get that again.
Nina, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for sending me some great, great books that we go have to cover it one day. Lots of information, lots of information. I'm getting on my. I downloaded her browser too, man. I got to get into that agent thing, boy. Woo. I
Oh,
need.
this is one last one that I wrote.
Woo. The Daughters of the Unseen. Did I get that book? I'm not sure. Hold on one second.
This is our relationship. This is the relationship with white women.
Oh Lord.
That's what this is about.
I got.
This is our relationship, how they always centering themselves in our business.
Wow, I ain't
This
get
is
that. I get that one. I definitely got the unseen the return ADHD. I got that one. We
oh
ain't even
yeah,
talk,
I got ADHD now.
the borrowed energy. I got that one. I got
Look at him show the book.
fire needs to breathe. I got that one. Lord have mercy. You got so many. I ain't get all of her books, but I got a lot. Thank you so much, Nina, for
You're
providing
welcome.
information.
They gonna keep coming because that's the hey. I've been writing since I couldn't tell you. I don't know how long. My imagination is just so I want to put. I do studies, and then as I'm doing studies now, I'm like, this will make a good book.
Right, and then you talk to your agent and keep it moving. Right, that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
just got the agent, so the agent is gonna help more now. But I didn't
Yeah,
have
that's
the
right.
agent
You
then.
got. When did you get the agent? Because you've been writing a lot of books
Yeah, I
since I've
got the
known you.
agent 2 weeks ago.
Jose, yeah, she been had a lot of books, family. So she ain't stopping until the breath leave her body. It is what it is, and that's what I'm talking about,
I'm
girl.
68 years old. I should have a lot to say.
That's true. I know, ain't no doubt. That's why I need to get my agent now because I have a lot to say, and it's just oh my god, the time. Oh, I got things to do. But make sure you follow her on Instagram. That's diamond_8. Make sure you hit her up at the link tree. Make sure you spend some cash rap. Uranus 157. Uranus 157.
Uranus.
Uranus. Hey, it is tomato and tomato. That's dollar sign Uranus or Uranus 157. Hit her up and just go buy her books at Levin University. Everything is pinned to the top of the chat. Go get her books. If you ain't gonna do Cash App or you want something tangible, go get a book. Lord have mercy, she got a lot of books. I'm telling you, you can build a whole lot. Like I said, I got a shelf just with her books. All this came off of that one shelf. So big up to her,
Wow,
man.
that's so cool. I
I
love
know.
it.
That's why I can't wait till Nicholas put your books in her store. I'm gonna say,
Oh, I'm sending them. I'm sending them to her.
I said, yo, put this just all, give her one shelf like it's a supermarket. Give her that one shelf. I'll tell her that myself. Give her one shelf. Or two shelves. But appreciate y'all coming through. If y'all missed what they did, her daughter did. I did re-put it on my YouTube, and they have it on their YouTube channel. But I did remix it with her and Rashana and the other sister Kimberly. So I do have it on my
She's
YouTube
gonna
channel.
be on your show. She's so dope.
Oh, that's my girl, man. I've met her
She
before a few
told
times.
me that. She says, yeah, she is so. I love her. She's so cool.
Yeah, she told you her birthday.
She
April
have
30th.
4 clubs like
Yeah,
Aquarius.
yeah, April 30th. So yeah, man, she's something else. My mother's a Taurus, so I know the energies. And congratulations, she's engaged to be married. I'm so respectful. That's good. That's good. I'm so happy to hear women getting married. I love that. All right, Nina, we're gonna talk. All right, appreciate you and be safe.
Appreciate
All
you.
right, let me give you a round of applause.
Peace, fam. Thanks for joining us in here. Because, King Simon, you going to cut up with King Simon. If you don't, I don't know what's going on. I can't help it. Because he says some stuff.
I'll go say some stuff. That's just me.
Because that sex conversation got me shaking my head. I just went for it. Y'all, if anybody follows me, you just know I just ad lib.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be some clips. I got some clips for that. All right, girl. Take care.
Thanks.
Peace. Let's give her a round of applause again. Yeah. Oh man. Uh, my glasses got steam. Oh, yes. Steamy glasses. Steamy glasses. You know what it is, family. Show her love, give her love, and make sure you support her books and everything that she's doing. Enough respect to her and what she's doing. Her and her daughter, of course, I put that in the chat too. Again, I'm here for I may not be here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. You know what I'm saying? That's how I am. I may not be here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. I'm gonna laugh. If you ain't gonna laugh, that's up to y'all. But I'm gonna laugh and have fun on my show because it's all about being informative, edutaining, and inspiring at the same time. That's what I like to do. So that was Neena Dunham, the mothership of the great Aquarius Maximus. And of course, coming up, y'all know, again, we did cancel this event. I did cancel this event. Both of them are, is right now. You got to be very, when you're doing events now, you got to make sure you're. And Brother Rich also reminded me about being electrifying with the event, that people, because when people come out, some people are actually paying for hotels and all types of stuff. So I want to do an electrifying event. And not to say that this wasn't going to be an electrifying workshop. This is better for online use also. We could do this online. So I might remix it for an online event so everybody can pay a more reasonable price and all that. You might not get the free food and all that stuff, but I'm going to remix it. We canceled this event. The Eventbrite was shut down. I had to shut that down. And but I got B Dell coming in for the first time, 2 locations. He's going to be at Nicholas Brooklyn, that I could hold but so much, and everybody that comes through Nicholas Brooklyn to get his book, sign his book and all that, and be on the list for the Brooklyn Public Library 200-seater. Y'all get into the Brooklyn Public Library for free as long as you came for the meet and greet at Nicholas Brooklyn, that's where I will charge, so I can make sure he gets some finance in his pockets. Him and his wife is coming. Him and his girl is coming. His queen, his empress. I don't like to say queen. And then we're going to do it at the Brooklyn Library on the 19th of September. He will be in conversation. And guess who will be hosting that? Blue Pill will be the guy that asks the questions on stage. And then I will have 2 microphones set up on 2 sides of the stages and have people filter questions. We don't have the room for like 5 hours. So I want to make sure we do what we got to do over there at the Brooklyn Public Library in Brooklyn at the Grand Army Plaza, 10 Grand Army Plaza. So B Dell will be there mark it on your calendar. B Dell speaking in New York for the first time. 2 days only. 2 days only. B Dell in the house. 2 days only. He's going to turn it out. That's going to be Nicholas Brooklyn, the meet and greet, and mini presentation. No question and answers there. And his books, he's going to be signing his book, and then we're going to the library the next day. So be prepared to be there September the 18th for his book signing, September the 19th at the Brooklyn Public Library, September the 18th at Nicholas Brooklyn, and the Brooklyn Public Library the next day. All right, so I want y'all to be prepared for that. That's a Friday and Saturday. And then Billy might be coming in also, Billy Carson. We're looking at the library for Billy Carson, do a meet and greet. Nicholas, trying to keep Nicholas in the frame. Or I might be going to the vegan cafe with Billy Carson. Why not? I can do any one of them. But Billy, I think he does need to go to Nicholas, and probably have the vegan cafe provide the food for the meet and greet, because I'm finding out that we might not be able to provide food inside the Brooklyn Public Library unless they appoint and give us a chef. Okay, and I'm not doing all of that. I'm not even sure about the vendors. I got to make sure we can have vendors at the Brooklyn Public Library also, because I might not be able to have vendors at the Brooklyn Public Library. But I'm going to wheel and deal, and I'm going to have to talk to the vendors that they just can't sell. They can't exchange money. They might be able to do the QR codes and that's it. But they cannot exchange money in the Brooklyn Public Library. I'm going to find out. Do not quote me on that. But I have enough space for at least 20 vendors in the Brooklyn Public Library in the theater area. All right. So I'll find that out, um, if we can sell, if vendors can come in. But again, this has been canceled, the applicable esoteric alignment workshop. Tomorrow, we will be doing a recap of the International African Arts Festival, excuse me, July the 9th, and of course at 8 p.m. And we're going to talk about it. Let's recap about 55 years, the new location, and the importance of your support for the next years to come in this new location. We need y'all support. And y'all can go to iaafestival.org if you want to be a vendor next year, or if you want to volunteer. They need volunteers so we can lessen the lessen the bombardment of vendors and all that at the office. They need more volunteers that can help out and that can make things flow, so vendors can get where they got to get and do what they have to do, and other people can get what they have to get. The next lesson will be this: a new motivational, spiritual, and physical perspective of accountability and accountable. There is a mathematics behind it. Also, the next interview that I will be doing will be on, it might be on the 12th. Haven't decided yet, but definitely I will be interviewing this beautiful sister, entrepreneur, financial counselor, coach, and compassionate soul healer. Rashana Bennett will be with us on Tuesday, July the 14th. And on the 15th, we have Supernova Slam, the wellness warrior himself, will be with us. Then his beautiful mothership, Empress Queen Afua, the sacredness of men and women. She'll be with us. And then on the 22nd of the month, we have Noble Ampu, first time astrologer, teacher, entrepreneur, and more, having the healing and guiding aspects of language. He'll be speaking with us. So big up to my brother Ampu. Also, I got Sensei Neena coming in. I got to do that flyer, waiting for her picture to come in. I heard my son is performing at the Botanical Garden on the 23rd. Big up to him, doing what he loved to do over there. And do remember, if you want the Yes I Am affirmation shirts on sale, $40. I'm only servicing the United States of America right now. So if you're in the United States, I think Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands included. I'm not sure if because shipping has been messed up due to the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. But text right now if you want to order at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And Brother Uncle Hank and I are presenting the Yes I Am affirmation shirts. All right. I think we got limited amount. So please get yours immediately. Wear your affirmation. This is one of mine that I created years ago. African, Cuban, Jamaican, Maroon, born in Brooklyn. That's what I have. That's what I did. Big up to Susie's scripts. I just had a very long meeting with her. Those who want to write their book, those who have a book in your mind and you need it transcribed, this sister can help you out. You can get the first consultation is absolutely free. 914-361-9467. If you just want proofreading, if you want copy editing, if you want line editing, if you want developmental editing, if you want ghostwriting, this sister can do it. Just tell her when you call her or leave a message on her voicemail, tell her that King Simon sent you. Everybody has a book in them. It's just a matter of who's going to put it out and who's going to leave that legacy of having a book for their family. Look, I have 5 books. That's all 5 of my books right there. All right. It's all about legacy. And I have my autobiography and everything else that I got coming. And I got 3 ebooks. So I already got 8 books already. 3 ebooks, 5 hard books. And hey, that's what we're doing, man. We're keeping it moving. And big up to New Motivation Consultation. If you want to do a consultation with me, I have 10-minute sessions. I have the 15-minute session. I have the 30-minute session where you get to talk to me. And I have the 60-minute section where you get to talk to me and ask me any question you want in regards to patterns, cycles, and sequences in your life so I can guide you. Don't ask me crazy questions about something on the moon when I'm talking about you. I want to talk about you. I want you to be better. That's what numerovation is, motivating you with numbers. You want deeper stuff? You want to go and find out why the moon is turning is flat or whatever? I'll send you to whoever you have, but I want you to be better because having all that knowledge and not doing anything without it, but just by just masturbating on the microphone or masturbating on your YouTube channel, just don't make sense to me. All right. So I'm here to motivate you with your numbers. That's all. Birthday and name. So text me your full name, date of birth, and birthday with an email, and I will send you the details on how to book a session with your brother. Big up to Mint Porch. Support this beautiful sister, Miss Gordon. She is doing wonderful work with her team member, Tiffany, and all of that. And make sure you support all the people that I advertise as far as my commercials. I ran the commercials earlier, but I'll run it before I get out of here. Don't forget, I will be with Queen of Four and the whole crew for the Ascension ceremony from August the 13th all the way to the 16th. And do remember Lloyd Strayhorn all the time. That's my brother. And my son has a great studio. Make sure you support him at Green Studio NYC. And also remember, you can also deal with the audiobook and listen to the audiobook on my membership if you want to hear the audiobook of Numerovation for Mental Stability. And last but not least, take my course, my introductory course into Numerovation. If you want to learn the basics for yourself, boom, you could go to that and just put in the word Numerovation and I will come up. I'm the only one teaching Numerovation, and it's all good. It's all good to me. All right, so family, on that note, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming through, and those that will be watching later across the pond, all over the world, all 196,940,000 square miles. We're getting ready to get out of here. Remember what Dr. Khalid Abdul he said, regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one God, one creator, one divine force and source connected to all of us. Remember what my brother Dr. B, make sure you get his book. Remember what Dr. B says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. Remember what the late, great Dr. Delbert Blair used to say, please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open up my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. And remember what the late, great Maya Angelou used to say, and still we rise. Let's continue to rise to the top and be our greatest self in whatever we do, how we do it, and when we do it. All right? Be strong, be focused, be great, and I'll see you next time I come back up. All right? Inshallah. Take care. I love you because I love me. Thanks again to Neena Dunham for coming on and spreading love. Why we choose certain individuals according to the cards. Peace.
From the roots where the earth still speaks, to the fire where they always breathe. Hands of wisdom time can't erase. Every drop got a story to say. Slow it down, feel the rhythm inside. This ain't rush, this is sacred design. From the soil to the soul to the light, what you hold is a gift of life. You are, feel it in your soul. Give it, let the story unfold. Ancestral power in every drop. This that legacy, this don't stop. You are rooted deep in you. Give it, yes, pure and true. Not something you drink, you receive. This that energy you believe. Hey, hey. Ooh, Luani. Oh, Luani. Give it. This is where your elders hit and drums sing perfectly.
As a woman of a certain age, there comes a time when our bodies begin to speak, to shift, to change, but not about something that's ending, but about becoming more aware, more attuned, more seasoned, and more aligned with our truth. Women are opening these pages and remembering themselves. This is more than a book. This is a return, a remembrance, a chrysalis opening. Living like a menopause goddess. And this is only the beginning.